Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speeder. Today we're going to be watching something pretty damn interesting, which was a convincing win from a Pause 5 Bristleback. You heard that right. Pause 5 Bristleback. Now this is something that has had popularity in the past. Not a lot of it. It was mainly popular in the patch where buying 2 bracers because they doubled at mid at 25 was really popular. Now, that's no longer in the game, and so you kind of have to find other ways to make it work. Now, the main selling point, I would say, of modern support Bristleback is the facet Snot Rocket, which increases the stack limit of Viscous Nasal Goo, increases the armor loss per stack, and makes it where your E shoots out goos instead of quills. And so it's really good, as we see the level 1 goo come out here. There was absolutely no need for that blood grenade. Goo is more than enough for kills at level 1. It is insanely broken. But they get the first blood. Really nice angle up the hill. Good stuff. First blood for Quinn. I mean, that is huge. As he finds the bounty. And for starting items, he's got a stick, 2 branches. This is absolutely a stick hero. You desperately need the mana in any lane where it's decent. Stick, 2 branches, tangos. It was a blood grenade, smoke, and 2 sentries. As I would say, trading isn't that efficient. So really the downside, I'd say, mainly about something like this Bristle 5 is that it's not like exceptional at trading, as he does manage to get 2 stacks on the Doom, which will kind of allow his Doom to put some pressure. But really the main logic is that, like, if someone messes up and you get enough Goose stacks on them, then you can go for an all-in play. But really, I would say the main timing is actually level 2, as he buys a Mango as his first item, and then a Salve. I love this item progression. Mango, because you probably want all in with quills at some point, where near low mana. And then Salve, because you're going to be taking a lot of damage as something like Pause 5 Bristle, where you're getting really in on the enemy. The only downside to something like this is you definitely feed away a lot of stick charges. You have to be reasonably aware of that, as he's really just throwing out these goos. I mean, this will certainly feed some pretty big sticks, which, again, is always the downside of a strategy like this against players who will be aware enough to buy a stick. But level 2 on Terrorblade, no blood grenade, which makes things a little hard, but I'm going to keep it a stack. I honestly feel like they already have kill potential on Mira. I actually feel like that might have been a misread by them. I think if he has a blood grenade, he unironically could have all in the Ringmaster. Unless Ringmaster has some, like... Oh, he has Whippy Cushion. That is... Dude, when Ringmasters get Whippy Cushion, it's so lame. It's so annoying. Oh, Ringmaster really manning up. And this is where something like Bristle actually thrives. Something like Sub Bristle, where someone goes for something like a small camp like this, right? And you can actually get to the fight them. It's, like, incredibly strong, right? It's incredibly strong what this hero does on the small camp, as he gets incredibly aggressive, right? Zoning him out, building up the stacks. Okay, drawing some creeps. And we haven't seen some crazy aggression yet. I would say something like this Bristle is much stronger with like a PA who can really collapse on the goose stacks, or something like a Drow who can hit, or even something like a Gyrocopter is probably exceptional with something like Bristleback, right? But I would say Terrorblade is okay. Definitely the reflection with the goo is not bad. And meta timing is definitely good, and I'm sure they're probably winning on CS, yeah. Just casual pressure. Looks like he's not really interested in just kind of all-inning or doing something psychotic, as he eats this mango, a little bit odd. I don't think you should eat your mango until you really have to, if you're optimized. Right, the HP regen frequently matters. So he queues up a fluffy hat. I think you should buy a Clarity. This is definitely a Clarity hero. You're gonna have points in time where you're just like stacking camps or something like that, and it's definitely fun. Good, as wow, really just dominating the Ringmaster. Anytime Ringmaster comes to contest a pole camp or block a camp or anything like that, he is exceptional at putting pressure in those moments, right? Definitely really, really good in those moments. As denying up some big camps here. I'm surprised we haven't seen some sort of dive attempt. I really thought it would happen. I feel like part of it's because they know that if you overcommit into Doom, Doom frequently will turn. Also, they probably have like 20 wands. Yeah, like it's actually very hard to fight into these like Giga wands, honestly, and it is kind of the downside. If you somehow play this and the people against you don't buy sticks, you can just go nuts, and then it's going to be like hyper efficient, right? If you're playing against no stick as Bristle, you can go crazy. As actually opting to TP mid, but it was a missed go. Fortunately, they lose some value there, as he's a little bit afraid to show. You don't want to get solo killed by Leshrac, which is possible. He's going to wrap on mid with no sentries, so he could get scouted out here. Looks like they kind of want to make a play. I mean, this hero is definitely pretty good at collapsing mid. Oh, tries to make a go, doesn't hit. That does mean he's going to get scouted. The question is, do you place a sentry now? Is he still wrapping on mid? As their Terrorblade's going to get gone on, as they want to make the go onto the Leshrac. As wow, the ring plus the goo is so much damage. I mean, that is a combo right there, right? It's actually funny, all 3 of their other cores are physical damage. So really the key for the enemy team is going to be building armor. for sure. They got to find some way to get armor. Shiva's on Doom, Shiva's on Lash, Ghost Scepters, stuff like that. Sees Panto. And your hero's comically good against like these these heroes that are far away from their towers where you can chase them down. You're very strong. He's maxing out the goo. Absolutely what you should do on something like support Bristleback. Really just for the slow, I would say, is huge, right? When you turn your back and you apply 3 or 4 goos before you die, just that slow so your teammates can really collapse on that minus armor is going to be huge. As he buys a fluffy hat, casual fluffy hat, I'd say raindrops are also exceptional. You just want casual HP on something like this, and the mana makes sense. So I would say definitely a raindrops hero. I'm surprised he's not buying it. As TP's bottom, looks like they want to make a go on the PA. They're going to try. I mean, again, this goo spell is very, very broken in these positions, as the PA tries on him, but no, he finds the kill. And yeah, I mean, making moves with this goo is very real. I don't know how he knew that this PA is the correct go. Let's actually take a look. I guess she just I think he knows that TPs were committed top, and there's no way for this PA to be helped. Okay, they're going to get back top. Looking to hold the safe lane. Don't want to give this up. Calling to go on the Doom, but the phase boot's a little bit too much movement speed. Looks like in the mid lane, wow, they actually traded kills. Just being so annoying with these goos. Boots next. Again, would have loved to see the raindrops, just because you will run out of mana on this hero if you don't. Like, for sure. Blood Grenade's very important on something like this. As what's the move here? Is Monkey King is bottom. I mean, I feel like this Doom is kind of pressurable. Looks like he's opting to connect to the Monkey King. And they want to secure the... Okay, so they're going to trade, and they want to secure the bot tower. It's going to place a deep ward on this hill. So this hill ward is always pretty nice. It just kind of gives a lot of vision in this area. It's also very awkward to D-ward in many cases. Just a lane ward place, and he's going to get gone on. But this is sometimes where... I mean, if you commit too hard into this goo, you just explode. I mean... Like, heroes like Lesh are really bad at killing Bristleback. Because if you go on him, you're just negative... He's negative 10 armor. That is 37% bonus damage from physical. It's more like 60 because of, you know, base resistances, but you get the point. Has 5 goo stacks on the PA. Whew! Oh man, the Sup Bristle is cooking it up. Pretty insane what he's been able to do. Go up onto the Doom, another kill, and yeah, I don't know. This hero actually just sets up kills. I mean, there's nothing else to say besides. I mean, this Q is it's just a 24% slow with decent 650 cast range plus Blood Grenade, about a 40% slow. Couple more stacks, and the phase boots don't even... I mean, it's a perch creep from Doom, which is massive in this matchup, but it's not enough, and he's actually queuing up treads. So again, I would love to see the raindrops. You can see you definitely have some mana problems. Even popping the Polywog, which costs even more mana. I believe it's 40. Oh, unless they buffed it. I think... Okay, no, they buffed this item. Yeah. They made this item way better. This item's actually very good now. It used to cost mana, and it was kind of like rough for subs to click 40 mana, but nowadays it's much better. And you can farm camps. Pretty nice. Gonna block up the large camp, just try to shut down some of this Doom's farm, which is pretty nice. Actually opting not to put the last point in goo. I think the logic is that you want to get the base armor loss to 3, and then after that it's less important, which I can get. I still think that taking the 4th point is totally fine, just for that extra bit of slow and armor stack. I think it does matter. So I feel like I disagree a little bit, honestly, but either way. Goos up onto the Lash. Here comes the Monkey ult, and wow, it just evaporates. I mean, this combo is really good. It's comical how good it is. I mean, it doesn't even remotely look like a meme. I mean, this just looks great. No other way to put it. It just looks great. All right, let's see what he does. Holding the hills. He's got his two fluffy hats. One of them will build into Pavis. Pavis is a very natural item here. I feel like the only thing I'd say is that it makes sense to maybe buy just the early shard. The shard is so broken, especially on something like Sup Bristle, where you just kind of want to get out your goos and die. So you should go up the Warlock here. Oh my god. I wonder if Tide's buying Ags. I would love to see I mean, okay, it's way too good of a game to buy a pipe, just so people don't like die to the Lash and the Fatal Bonds and stuff like that. Ringmaster, but man, I would love to see just more armor reduction. I think stacking armor reduction is like super legit in Dota right now. I think it's actually pretty hard to get armor against it. I don't know, like a lot of armor items are just awkward for most heroes to buy. Like, it's just awkward. Goo's up. Actually, this looks pretty bad. He'll get out a lot of goo before he dies, which has been the theme of this, but I believe with no... Oh, no, he's dead. Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that one's probably not going to be good. It looked pretty bad. Just because his Wind Ranger and Monkey King weren't with him. So a bit of an overextension. Milady, not perfect. Not perfect. As they're going to go for the Torm. Another bright part of the Bristleback Pause 5 is that you are very good at killing Tormentor. And so they'll do that. They kill it off. Oh, he gets the shard. Let's go. He gets the shard. Oh, man. I mean, this thing is so good. If you don't know what it does, basically in an AoE, and really a big thing about it is it's a low mana cost at 60. It's a pretty high cast range at 750. It's radius at 700, so it's AoE. It applies 2 Goose Stacks. And just for reference, guys, 2 Goose Stacks is 10 armor. 10 armor. Guys, Warlock has 4. Ringmaster has 5. Doom has 12. Leshrac has 9. It puts all of those heroes into the negative except Doom by 2. Right? I mean, 1 cast of... That's not casting goo. That's just casting your shard. I mean, it is that good. Right? It is that good. And people have realized that this hero just kind of gives you some ridiculous AoE control in team fight. Right? With Hairball. As drops it here. Misses, unfortunately. Oh, I said it misses, but nope, that hit. He's thinking about chasing, but it's a little hard. They don't want to go into the enemy lack of vision. And oh, the Tide shows tops. He's going to get gone on. Nice play from Aurora. Just kind of seeing that Tide showing. They're getting outplayed a little bit there. I mean, that was just great from Aurora. The Tide showed for like 2 seconds, and they immediately turned to kill him. Really good awareness. I mean, obviously a bit of a misplay from Milady, but I mean, all in all, good stuff from Aurora. Okay, he's got his Pavis coming, which makes so much sense. Just a little bit of mana, a little bit of armor. This hero has no armor because it's strength. So a little bit of mana, a little bit of armor. This fight breaks out. They actually doom the win. They're going to turn to fight. Goo out, but he's got a Purge creep, so this isn't too bad for him. Things like Lotuses are definitely kind of the counter to this, but like having to buy a 4k gold shitty stat item for most heroes, which is Lotus Orb, is not convenient to counter a support. It's just generally not what you want to do. I wouldn't be shocked if Lesh buys Lotus this game. He's opting for the Ghost Scepter, so they're kind of going like the we need to win fights now route, which is just Ghost Scepters, which I respect. And for his next item, he's queued up the Ghost Scepter, which is mainly a response to PA. I would say most games you don't really have to buy Ghost. You can be pretty okay with dying, but against PA, because of the break, you might not have any impact before you die, and that's when it's really bad, right? Because they're for Fan of Knives. So you want to buy the Ghost Scepter so you can react. The enemy team doesn't have hard stuns, or like convenient ones, right? Lesh is like reactable. And so it's really good to buy Ghost in a game like this where they have low stuns and a break for you, right? Things like Viper, it's really good to buy Ghost as well. You might be like, man, but it amps magic damage. Yeah, but you're not going to die, right? And you're going to get off your goose eventually. So that's really the key. So the Ghost Scepter, really what you want. You got a Tumbler's Toy. What is this with? Is this with Greedy? It looks like, okay, no, Mystical, which is great. That's actually super nice. Bit of mana regen, bit of magic resist. And you might be wondering why Treads. I actually think there's a couple of reasons. Number one, you actually hit hard. The reality is that, I mean, you build up a couple stacks. I mean, you actually push towers for your team as a sub for sure. So Treads naturally are just a very high HP item. It's 10 stats, which is much more than the 6 that you're paying for the Belt of Strength, right? It's like a, what, 80% extra value? It's bonus movement speed as well, right? And movement speed is huge. It's an extra 10 movement speed for melee heroes. So Treads are actually just a very efficient item. I think on a lot of melee supports, they're underrated, honestly. And for something that really benefits from just living, right, which is Bristleback with his E, it makes sense to pick up Treads. And I love the skill build. You might be like, why no points in Quill Spray? Well, you're a sub. You're not really using it to farm. And honestly, Quill Spray, how the ability generally works is that it's actually more important to stack the quills than actually to click the quill. Right? The quill stack damage is a flat 30. It doesn't skill per level. So if you build up like 6, 7, 8 quills on someone with level 1 quill, it still does a lot of damage, even as a sub, right? And honestly, sort of a symptom of him getting gone on here is complete vision of the enemy team, which sets up for a 2-man shackle. And then that leads into a big ravage onto 2. And that should allow them to kill off the Lesh, whose Ghost Scepter is on cooldown. He's thinking about stunning forward on Monkey. Whoa, okay. Oh, I actually mega healed with the Jingu. Totally forgot about that. Looks like he's not going to be able to kill off the Ringmaster, I think. Damn! They really don't think this PA can do shit. And, I mean, to be fair, she can't. And that's going to lead into a high ground push. And first next item, I would say Glimmer makes a lot of sense. I would say Glimmer makes sense. I'd say completing the Solar is pretty reasonable. I would say Blink Dagger is good, unironically. I think it just lets you move around the map and just get off a good shard, which is actually highly underrated. It's good for also just placing Deep Vision. Okay, looks like they're playing for the next Torm. I think the progression of this game is going to be Torm, Roche. Obviously, maybe a fight in between, depending on what Aurora does. So it's going to be Torm, which is super free with Bristle Sup. Beautiful, beautiful. Yep, just completing the Solar. Going to be really good with Monkey King, give him that attack speed. It's going to be really nice. even though the only reason I'd say it kind of isn't that good is only because you actually want to prioritize on items that just let you frontline. And when you buy a solar doesn't actually give benefits. It doesn't give the attack speed or the movement speed to you. It only gives it to people you put it on. And so it actually feels pretty bad if you want to use it on yourself to frontline to upgrade to solar. It's not good. So I think that's why he's hesitating with buying it. Did he buy a gem? What did he buy? Okay, so they're gonna buy a 27-minute gem, put it on the Tide. They have a good gem carrier in the Tide Hunter, which is nice. Nice gem carrier on the Tide. It's getting got. Okay, yeah. I mean, I said I said that the ghost is because they don't have because they have reactable stuns, but unfortunately, I mean, I will say if Lesh is the one ATOSing you, you should probably be pre-clicking ghost on the stun at. No, this was okay. He should have ghosted. I see why he didn't, because maybe he's assuming that PA is out farming. Okay, I mean, you don't know that. Oh my gosh, that damage on Doom. Bro is so squishy until he completes the Shivas. I mean, to be fair, if you have 6 goose stacks, Shivas is not going to make you have enough armor to make you feel like you're fine against 6 goose stacks. No way he got rid of the Purge Creep. Yeah, he still has. He has to keep that for the rest of the game. For sure. For sure. Gonna goop some camps. Yep, they're just thinking about Roche. I mean, the enemy team basically has to contest, and he's frontlining. Again, just super nice what this hero can do. Oh, nice angle from Aurora, but there's the goo. And immediately, I just want to show this for reference. Negative 22% physical resist. Immediately. Stacking up the goo. They're poking. They don't want to dive into Aurora, but the quills are killing him. Bristle's quills are poking the enemy mid very efficiently as the fight is over. Man, I can't believe I actually think he carried this game. I mean, obviously everyone did their thing, but the amount of impact he's having on something off meta like this is really impressive. I mean, there's nothing else to say besides this is just impressive. Because it looks really good. It doesn't even just look good, it looks really good. Like, I'm a pretty decent judge of what looks good or not, guys. I'm keeping it a stack. It looks good. It doesn't look like some off meta, like, oh, you know, we kind of had to pick TA. We picked TA because it's meta, and then it's like kind of a really bad TA game, so we're gonna put it sup. I mean, to be fair, you know, the TA sup isn't bad either, but this to me looks better than TA sup. I mean, I'm a fan of the TA sup, don't get me wrong, but this looks like a step above that. The amount of teamfight impact you have by just getting Ganon and giving vision is insane. And his HP pool is really high, right? With not that much net worth. I wouldn't say he's like super farmed. Obviously, they're winning the game. He's definitely ahead. They've taken, 2 Roches and a Torm, so obviously he has more than he should, but it's not like he needs completed solar for this, if he had 1,000 less net worth, 1,500 less net worth, he'd still look really tanky. By the way, in terms of talents, I feel like you can take the mana regen at 10. It's fine. I mean, he skipped it. He took the Bristleback reduction, which I think is okay. You just don't want to get bursted. It does make you goo slower when you're getting Ganon, so like there's some argument for goo cast range, which I feel like might be better, but yeah, I feel like the goo cast range might be better. I guess he's just afraid of getting bursted, which is pretty reasonable. Getting Ganon has the ghost. There we go. Reacts with the ghost. And this is what you want. The Fan of Knives is used, and now, even if they go on you, which they probably will, now the goose will come out though, so you don't feel that bad about dying in this position, right? The Doom, he's creating so much space where his team is full focusing the Doom. That's 6 goose stacks on the PA. She couldn't even kill him. She's down to negative. No, sorry, she's not negative. She's down to 3 armor. As the goo is still not gone. How long is this last for? 6 seconds. All right. That seemed longer than 6 seconds. All right. I mean, hey, they cooked it up. That's going to be all. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace!